Good morning. This is the Eager Beaver Show.
You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver Media Incorporated podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Misfit Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters, CanadianTarot.com, your uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community, and the Pepper Master, hot pepper sauces made from farm-fresh ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind.
Well, good morning. Thought I'd start you off with a little bit of a sunrise image there from the nation's capital. You can see it's another beautiful day here. It is going to be a little bit warmer. It's currently a little bit chilly. What is it right now, actually? I think it's 1 degree, which is, it's a little chilly. It is supposed to warm up, though, a little bit today. Tomorrow's going to, I think, 23. Oh, it's -1. Feels like -5. That's not great, but it is supposed to warm up to 11 degrees today. So we'll take that. That's not so bad. That's not so bad. Let's see what the forecast is. Air quality is good. And how about... Yeah, we're looking good. We're looking good. A little chilly at the moment, but it is that time of the year. So Thursday 22. So the forecast has changed. It's going to be 22 in Canada's capital for Halloween, and during the day, it's supposed to be sunny all day. Saying overnight, the nighttime will be 11 degrees and rain. So I don't know what time the rain is supposed to start. Let's see, it doesn't say. Yeah, around 6 o'clock, which means that trick-or-treaters might be getting a little bit wet on Thursday, but that remains to be seen. Well, good morning. Welcome to the show. It is going to be me alone today due to the fact that Mr. Beaver was up very late last night. He was doing a show about the Saskatchewan election, and as a result, he did not get much in the way of sleep. I don't know why the logo has moved. It's weird. What's going on there? Oh, there we go. I don't know what happened there. Mr. Beaver was up late last night, and I got an email message from him at around 4 a.m. saying he wasn't going to be able to make it today, or at least he didn't think he would be able to make it today. I sent him a link. If he can join it, great. If not, no worries. He's tired. Got some beauty rest. We have a 3-day conference to attend shortly that we have to be there for around 8 o'clock, I think, if memory serves. I got to check the email and find out what time we're supposed to check in. So this might be relatively short, as I have to get the gear packed and ready to go. But first off, let's start the show by saying thanks to our title sponsors, the Misfit Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, CanadianTarot.com, and the Pepper Master. Pepper sauces have kept my tongue wide awake at night sometimes. Very good. Check out the Pepper Master. Great stuff. So thanks to those folks who have been with us since the very beginning. We appreciate their support from start to right up till now. So, well, I hope Mr. Beaver is not ill then. My goodness. Beaver After Dark merch. Well, here's the thing about the merch store, Cassie. I did set one up. It's still there, but I'm not promoting it because it ended up, I was losing money on every sale because of the way the system works. I'm like, well, that's just not suitable. I sold $100 worth of merchandise and it cost me $120. Please explain how that's supposed to make sense. That's the way the system is set up. I'm like, well, that's just not going to happen anymore. So I've not shut it down completely. I've just stopped paying attention to it for the time being. I might look into it in the future if I can get something together that will actually serve to be profitable, because after all, the point of selling merchandise is to turn a profit. Anyway, I'm looking at, we might pursue the t-shirt manufacturer that we had for the mental health walk, because that's a friend of Mr. Beaver's, and they are local in Kingston and produce a good product. So why not? We'll go with them. See, I'm not sure what else they can print. I know we can print some iron-on stuff, but yeah. I suppose I could print off iron-on logos, and you could go ahead and do it. But I don't know how well that works after a dozen washes. Is the image still there, or does it fade right out? Yeah, it was a money-losing venture, Elaine, and I don't know why. I went back and looked at it. I'm like, no, we process the order. We put the catalog of goods together. People order it through the Etsy store. The manufacturer is supposed to put it together and ship it out, but they're like, no, you have to pay for it first. I'm like, no, the person has paid for it. They paid for it. No, you have to pay for it. So I have to pay for it up front. Then I'm supposed to get reimbursed after they get paid. The thing is, after they took their cut and Etsy took their cut, I was actually in the hole. So, yeah, that was not working out for me. Look, I want promotional materials for sure, which is why I bought a new printer, so I can print off stickers and such to hand out to people and put up on light poles and things like that, so we can get the name out there. But that is costing me almost nothing, because I bought one of those printers with refillable ink tanks. I can print off 7,700 color 8.5 by 11 sheets, or A4s they call them, I guess, in other parts of the world, and that cost me almost nothing. So yeah. I believe you are correct, Ree, that Cricut is the machine that they were using. Cricut? Do they call it a Cricut? Cricut or Cricut? Anyway, let's get to the news, shall we? So, Saskatchewan. Well, major choice. I accept it. I think it's a bad one. I mean, this is the fifth or sixth straight majority government for the Saskatchewan Party. Now, Scott Moe has only been there since 2018. So he's going into his 7th year. And he will be there for another, I guess, 4, because they have set times. Like, I don't know. Makes me wonder why Saskatchewan chose him. Is it got to do with people are just tired and don't have time to actually look into what the other parties are offering? Or does it have to do with the fact that, well, I've always voted for the Conservatives, and now they're just called the Saskatchewan Party, so I'll vote for them? Not even knowing who's running, or what the story or the issue is, or what the platform is, how their lives have not improved under the Premier and under the Saskatchewan Party. So it makes me wonder if they just aren't aware, because it was the rural part of the province that voted for the Saskatchewan Party largely. That was where the majority was handed from. So maybe we'll see some change. I don't have a let me see if I can find the electoral, the writing. Let me just type it in here. Saskatchewan election results. There we go. 2024. Make sure I get the right year, because I'm looking for the graphic that will show me the layout of who won what, where, what the seat, and I can't seem to find that. Oh, there we go. No, this is just showing the exact opposite. I don't know. All of the polls were completely inaccurate, because they had predicted a slim victory for the NDP. And as it turned out, that was simply not the case. Because if I look at some of these, this is, okay, from him, yeah. From Angus Reid, it had, let's see, provincial vote intent decided in leaning voters, 42%, Regina, 58%, NDP, Saskatoon, 50%, rest is Saskatchewan, 32%, with 11 undecided or other party, and 57 to Saskatchewan. So the polls were a little bit all over the map. Depends on who you consulted with. And as for Angus Reid, well, we don't, no, we're just, no. We're kind of done with him. Looking at different polling companies who delivered different polls to say something opposite of what actually turned out. And to some surprise, I guess, because it looked like it might have been closer than it was, but I guess in the end, the electorate, the electors, the citizenry spoke up. Their voice has been heard, and they chose to re-elect an individual who has put the party and the province into massive amounts of debt. So there you go. Let's see if we can. I'm trying to get the Saskatchewan election official results. This says 2024 unofficial results. First preliminary count. Well, no, I want the latest. Let's get the latest. Let's see. What is it? Okay, last updated at 4:16 a.m., October 29th. So, out of 30 for 31, I'm not seeing the proper numbers here. It says 35 seats for the Saskatchewan Party, 26 for the New Democrats. Basically nothing for anybody else, by the looks of things. 439,000 total votes out of 810,000 total registered voters. So 52%, 52.99% turnout. That's kind of sad, actually. So this is the first preliminary count, October 28th, which was yesterday. Second preliminary count is on October 30th, and the final count will be on November 9th to give you the full official results. So it's not officially called yet until all the ballots have been counted. But I mean, for the most part, it looks like Saskatchewan Party does have a majority. That's not up for debate. They've won. That's it. That's all. And, I accept that because I know that our election process and the organizations that put those together, like Saskatchewan, Elections Saskatchewan, is just the same as Elections BC or Elections Ontario or Elections Canada. It's filled with integrity and individuals who give a damn about what they're doing. Now, do I like the results? No, I don't like the results because I think Saskatchewan has shot themselves in the foot once more. It's not the party Brad Wall started. It has gone very far from Brad Wall's party. So, okay. It's just the way it is. Better than Ontario in the last election for voter turnout. You are correct, Mohan. There was only 43% turnout in Ontario, largely due to the fact that I think every newspaper in the country was calling it for Doug Ford for about a month before the election. And you know how I feel about polls. I think they should not be, once the writ is dropped, that's it. No polls should be released to the public at all. And if anybody does leak them, they should be heavily fined. And I don't mean like $300. I mean like $50,000. Make the fine hurt to really dissuade people. And yes, Cassie, you're right. Carla Beck should be commended for turning things around for the Saskatchewan NDP. And who knows, maybe the next election they'll cooler heads will prevail and progressives will get back into power. Yeah, most of the outskirt towns and possibly Saskatoon added the final nail. Yeah, you're right about that, Cassie. Comment here. It's going to go further right from Brad Wall if Mo decides to retire. You are correct. COVID played a role, I'd like to believe. In the Ontario election, yes, probably did, Mohan. But like I said, Saskatchewan has made their decision. and we'll just live with it. That's all there is to it. I mean, I'm not arguing it. Oh, you have the vote. Oh, thank you. Vim just sent me the vote maps. The vote map. Yeah. I got my ad blocker. I have to shut it down for a minute. Okay, so yeah. What a pain in the butt. Come on. Let's try that again. See if I can get this to work for me. I'll launch it into a different browser so that I can show you this map. My computer does not want to show it because the ad blocker is working, and it is not letting me disable it for some reason. So this is from the leader post. And sorry, I just got a whole bunch of stuff here I'm trying to sort through at the same time, and it's a little bit more difficult when you're doing it all on your own, when you don't have anybody to fill in the blanks when you're trying to produce something. Let's see the electoral map. Here it is. Okay. Oops. No, that's not what I want. Oh, come on. There we go. So I can now show you this. Show you this electoral map so you get an idea of what it looked like in the end. Where the heck did it go? There we are. And there we are. So you can see all of northern Saskatchewan voted NDP. There are only 2 ridings, Athabasca, and you can see the numbers there. Saskatchewan Party, 1,000 votes. NDP, 1,788. Green got 44. If we go to Cumberland, Saskatchewan Party, 1,575. NDP, 2,230. Green Party, 164. And if we go to the major population centers, this is, come on, Saskatoon, NDP 4,265, Saskatchewan 3,888, and if we go down here to Regina, 4,000 for NDP, 2,526 for the Saskatchewan Party. Those seem like really low numbers for the 2 major population centers, and then the rest is all green, which is all Saskatchewan Party. So all the rural ridings in southern Saskatchewan. Yeah, strange. Okay. Well, there you go. Battleground Saskatchewan. I don't know what to tell you about that, folks. But hey, like I said, they've made their choice. The province voted, and the incumbent gets to remain in power. That's the system. That's the system. That's all I gotta say. I don't know what else to say other than, well, I think you made a mistake, Saskatchewan, but it was your choice, and you made it, and he won fair and square. I don't think it's the right choice. I think it will harm you in the process because look, Scott Moe's not exactly a genius. I'm being very polite, and he's not done a very good job. Ask anybody in Saskatchewan how good their healthcare is or their education system, because he keeps, I'm going to save you money, because he cuts your services by reducing your taxes. But all of a sudden you realize you can't get a doctor. Your children can't get proper education. If you're a senior, forget about getting into any sort of provincial retirement facility. It's just not going to happen. You have 5 majority governments first since Tommy Douglas. But the thing is like, wow, if they ever swayed far from Tommy Douglas, left-leaning New Democratic Party, Social Credit Party, the man who founded universal health care in this country, to that. Yeah, so correct. Thanks, Elaine. Around 350,000 people in both Regina and Saskatoon in each city, right? So there's 700,000. That's the bulk of the population of the province, and yet voter turnout very, very low. That's a real shame, especially when you consider, voter turnout for the major population centers where people should at least get off their duff and go and do something, you know? Oh my. Sorry, I just ran across something in my feed that I'm going to have to do here because, wow. Saskatchewan just had their election. And as we know, as did New Brunswick and BC, Nova Scotia is about to call one. And our neighbors to the south are about to have a general federal election. And their democracy is very much in peril, especially when you see things like this. Somewhere on the west coast, I don't know where, but and that's because of the television station, Tues. Now, I'll probably get a copyright ding for this later, but thanks to KATU2 ABC, I don't know where that station resides. It's somewhere on the west coast of the United States, though. W is for east, and K is for west. That's how they divide up their country. In Canada, it's all C, from coast to coast to coast. It looks like somebody has lit a ballot box on fire. And ballots have been destroyed, even though they're in the pouring rain. These guys are trying to gather them up, try and make sense out of them, I guess. I don't know the story behind it, but it's like, yikes. That's not good. You think we're being hyperbolic when we say our democracy is under attack? This is what we mean. And that was from Mary Trump. Yeah, Donald Trump's niece. I don't know who did that. I don't know the reasoning behind it. I don't know where exactly it was. But let's see if I can look up that television station. Let's see. Well, there's a... it's Oregon. Okay, so there's Vancouver, Washington, I guess. Yeah, Vancouver, Washington. A lot of people voted in person at the Clark County Elections Office Monday after seeing hundreds of ballots on fire inside the ballot box at Fisher's Landing Transit Center. I just saw on the news today on Tues, and I went. I'm not taking any chances, and I just dropped my ballot. So people are voting in person as a result because somebody is trying to destroy... thank you, Mr. Jim. Somebody is trying to destroy the democratic process in the United States of America. And we know who the head of that mob is. Not saying that person had anything to do with this. I don't know who set this on fire or why. They're just trying to eliminate ballots. We don't know who had voted for whom in those ballots. They could have been destroying ballots for the person they want to see in power, for all we know. But this is just bad. When they start to burn ballot boxes, that is not good for democracy because they don't even want you to vote now. Wow. Wow. Sorry, I'm just a little speechless there. I've never... I don't think I've seen that before, to be honest with you, and I didn't think I would see it today. And it makes me really call into question what's going on down south. This is not good. This is very bad indeed. Oh boy, where do we go from here? I just don't know. Well, this you're not the first person to say this, Cassie, and you definitely won't be the last. The right are using Trump to win the election. They will use the 25th Amendment to oust him and install Vance for Project 2025. I don't think that is conspiracy. I think that is actually very much a real thing, because it seems to me that that's exactly what they want. They will use Trump as a cudgel to get in and do what they want to do, but in the end, they will just pull him out and put Vance in, because Vance will just march to the beat of whatever puppet master tells him to. As evidenced by the fact that he's done such a complete flip-flop from saying Trump is Hitler to Trump's the greatest president in history. How do you do that? Oh, might it be, I don't know, the lure of power and money? Listen, Lady Gray, or Lindsey Graham, said if Trump gets elected, he will destroy us and we will deserve it. And now he is suckling at the teat of Herr Trump. So, I don't know, money and power. Absolute power corrupts. Wow. Sorry, I'm just a little flustered, and that's a rare thing for me. You are correct, Carol. Vance is a bigger threat. Well, I don't know where to go from here. Saskatchewan's done their thing. They've made their decision. They've called it. And they want Scott Moe again. At least 52% of the population does. I think it's 52 or 59. What was that again? I can't remember. And I think, did I close that window? Hang on. Yeah, it's closed. Sorry. Anyway, they made their decision. We shall move on. Democracy has done its thing. People cast their ballot. They had their voices heard. And for some reason, they just seem to think, oh, Scotty's going to be the man to take them into the next 5 years or 4 years. Okay. Wow. I do know that, I don't know if anybody, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but the horrible commentary from Tony, whatever his name is, some washed up comedian, at the Trump hate rally at the Madison Square Garden in New York City, calling Trump calling Puerto Rico a garbage place. The fallout is wide and fast, and you've basically insulted and laughed about it and thought it was funny and said, oh, come on, it's a joke. No, see, here's the thing about racist jokes. They're never funny. They're not. They're rooted in hatred. They're rooted in anger. Tanner Lafreniere, I'm a goof. Well, I've never spent time in prison, Tanner, so no, I can't be a goof. That only takes place in prison. I've worked in a prison, but I've never been an inmate. So, it's a bit of a reach there, sir. I'm rubber and you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you. Yeah, he's out of work, I guess. Tony Hinchcliffe, yeah, he's basically unemployable now. There was also a fellow who was part of the January 6th riots, whose name I forget. He was an actor. He was in a bunch of things. Now he is unemployable since January 6th of 2020. 2021, I should say. Nobody has hired him or would be willing to hire him. He is blackballed, and now he's doing 18 months in the federal pen. So, yeah. F-A-F-O. That's what happens when you do that. I just... So, what? Polymarket? Oh, Polymarket. Yeah, okay. Polymarket is it's kind of like a betting thing, and most of the people who are betting on it don't live in the United States of America, so people are going, look at this, 68% for Trump. No, it's people betting. It's not it's not an actual poll, and it's from people outside of the country, so it absolutely means nothing. I'll show you that. Let me just go back here and I'll show you I'll share this screen with you. I'll pull it up and bet on your beliefs with Polymarket, the world's largest prediction market. It's not a poll, it's just a predictor. It absolutely means nothing. Let me just blow it up here and I'll put it on the screen for those of you who've not seen or heard of this. Mark Cuban was talking about this the other day. So Polymarket has a 66.3% victory for Trump and 33.7% victory for Harris. Bet on your beliefs, the world's largest prediction market. It is not a poll, it's a prediction. And most of the people betting on this don't live in the country. It's anybody anywhere in the world can vote on it. You go down and say, this is who I want to see as a candidate win. So it's completely meaningless. But you'll have people who will trot that little graphic out and say, hey, look, see, Trump's going to win by 66%. No, it's people betting on him. Doesn't mean anything. Now, he could very well get elected president and form the next government. That could very much happen. I imagine that's a distinct possibility. It really is. I'm just hoping that between Gen Z and every woman in the United States of America with a brain and the capability of voting votes for their own best interest, especially the immigrant population, the ones who can vote. No, I'm not talking about undocumented. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about those who can vote. Hopefully that between Gen Z, women, and immigrants, they will all go out, cast their ballot, and do so for the person who will preserve their rights and try and make it a better place. If Trump gets elected, he's already said he's going to deport 10 million people, which will cost their economy trillions of dollars. You do realize to deport somebody, you can't just grab them, put them on a plane, and send them out. They have to go through a process, which means that they have to sit in a detention center, which costs $150 a day. And it usually takes on average 46 days. So do the math. 150 a day, 46 days for 10 million. And if it's 10 million people, it's going to take a lot longer than 46 days to hear those reasons why they should be deported. You still have to go through the legal process. You can't just kick them out. Then again, Trump, who has been declared king by the Supreme Court in the United States of America, might just make a pen stroke with an executive order and say, no, just kick him out. No trial, just kick him out. Wouldn't surprise me in the least if he did that, which makes me much more frightened to think that this fascist dictator, wannabe Hitler, could get into power. It might very well happen. Yeah. See, you're right about that, Cassie. Cassie's quote here, my serious concern is the Electoral College and Trump's comment he already worked things out with the speaker. At least Mike Pence did the right thing last time. You are correct. I don't know that will happen. And look, I think Mike Pence is a terrible human being, but he still believes in democracy. He still believes in the system. So I can say that about him. And I will say something else, too. He went to New York City to see Hamilton right after Trump was sworn in. And he walked in, and people saw him and started to boo him. And he was there with some friends or family members. I don't remember exactly the case of who was accompanying him. But he looked at the person and said, that's the sound of democracy. I don't like the man. I think he's a terrible person. I think he's done a lot of harmful things to people. But he did have a certain principle. And that principle is, I will honor the election results because the people have voted. The people have spoken. Democracy is sacred. I mean, I got to give him respect in that. Okay, going to have to wrap it up soon, only because I say we as in the royal we, because I don't know if Mr. Beaver is going to be joining me. We are scheduled to be at a conference today. Where is the email? It is the National Conference on Ending Homelessness. It starts today. Confirming your registration. When you arrive, please check in at the kiosks or the help desk to receive your credentials. Media will be allowed access to all sessions in person and virtual. The virtual sessions will be available at the end of each day through the online registrant portal, which is great. I will hopefully get a chance to speak to Guy Felicella. That's one of my goals because he's one of the keynote speakers. And hopefully I'll get a chance to interview him. I've got some gear with me. We got mobile stuff ready to go, wireless mics, etc., etc. This will be our first really good in the field, as opposed to the pubcast, which is in the field, sure, but I'm bringing a full production studio with me. Now I'm bringing just very minimal mobile stuff. Let's see how this works out. It could be interesting. I don't know. It's new. I'm going to bring some lighting effects too. So, oh, that's a good cup of coffee. So I think I'm going to wrap it up just like I said, because I got to get ready. I'm supposed to be there at 8. It is 20 to 8, and it's about a 15-minute walk, and I still have to shower, shave, and, I'm going to be late. Period. I'm going to be late. That's all there is to it. And not that I want to be. It's just kind of how it works out when you're trying to do a show solo. So before I wrap it up, we'll give you a couple of things here. There's the coffee.com and our True North Eager Beaver pod page. You can scan QR codes. The one up here to the right, left. I guess your left, my right. And of course, underneath my mic flag is the QR code for the True North Eager Beaver Media pod page. You can go there to get all of our shows in the audio only format. It's podpage.com / the True North Eager Beaver with a hyphen between each word. You can also get our audio only versions, and we are up to $4.99. So we're all caught up on Apple Podcasts. And if you go there, you can give us 5 stars. That helps the algorithm, and it helps us. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out and cheering us on and supporting us, sending us money and encouragement. And remember, we do read all the emails. Some of them are not very nice, but we read them all. Most of them are very, very pleasant. Most of them are very grateful and thankful, and we do appreciate that tremendously. Because let's face it, we all have enough crap to deal with on a daily basis in this world. So let's spread some kindness, and sending us some kind words electronically like that, well, it really does make a difference, especially if you're somebody like me who battles depression and anxiety. And that's why I have a channel for exactly that. If you scan the QR code in the right-hand corner, that'll take you to my ASMR YouTube page, where you can access hundreds of hours of ASMR mental health chats, where I talk about where my brain is and how to cope and live with mental health issues such as anxiety and depression. It's scrolling across the bottom there. It's youtube.com / at Polly's World 2005. That'll get you my ASMR channel. I had a show last night. It was a little bit raw, I guess. I don't know. I hope you enjoyed it if you were able to take part. And if not, hey, something else for you to check out in the near future. So thanks to each and every one of you. We really do appreciate all of your efforts. We appreciate your feedback, the fact that you tune in on a daily basis. No, I don't. We're not going to be able to go live from the conference because it's bandwidth restrictions. I'll see what I can do. Maybe we'll throw up some recorded bits here and there, and if I can get an exclusive interview, I will. But I don't believe I'm going to be able to do any sort of live direct things to the channel, just because it's a lot of hoops to jump through. And when you don't have a full production suite, it's best to just go out and collect it. Now, that's not to say that I can't do something live. I certainly could. And if we have something that's really, really juicy, we'll put it up for you. So you'll get to see it right away instead of having to wait, because I'm going to have to do some editing afterwards, which is always a lot of fun. Time consuming, nevertheless. It's necessary. All part of the gig, right? So once again, thanks for giving us a hand up, not a handout. We appreciate that, because we do need a hand up sometimes to keep the show going. The costs involved here, and I guess we have to put this up and go. Yeah, okay. Scott Moe is still there. Scott Moe is going to be there for another 4 years at least. Alas, such is life some days. Okay. That's it from me for today. Thanks for coming out. We appreciate you, each and every one of you. I'm going to bid you adieu. I do not have a Easter egg today. No Easter egg because I got to get going. I got to get packed up and get over to the conference. So you take care, and I'll see you soon.
You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver Media Incorporated podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Misfit Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. CanadianTarot.com, their uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community, and The Peppermaster, hot pepper sauces made from farm-fresh ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind. We are grateful to the Crier Media Network for its support, Pete Jarvis for our artwork, and Paul Joseph Something for our opening and closing sequence music.